You found the perfect home, but is the neighborhood a disaster? Buying the right home in the wrong neighborhood can be disastrous for you. It doesn't matter how perfect the kitchen is, how new the roof is, or how gorgeous the view in the backyard is. If that area doesn't support your lifestyle, or if that particular neighborhood is not going to hold its value, it's going to turn your dream home into a daily frustration for you. Your home's location affects your lifestyle, it affects your safety, it affects your resale value, and it also affects your peace of mind, right? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to look for in the neighborhood before you buy a house. Don't just find a great house, but you want to find a great place to live as well. So let's break it down. First thing you need to think about are the safety and the crime rates in that particular area. Now, as a realtor, we really can't give you that kind of information, okay? That's considered redlining if we try to tell you that's not a safe area for you to live. So what we can do instead is provide you the source of that information. We can give you contact information. We can give you links to go online and be able to research that information for yourself. There's websites like City Protect and Neighborhood Scout. You can contact your local police department. So don't just look at the totals, okay? You want to look at what types of crimes are being committed and what kind of trends you're seeing over time, especially paying attention to the last 5 years or so. The second thing you're going to look at are the schools and the education. Again, as realtors, we're not allowed to tell you, oh, this is the best school zone, or yeah, you probably don't want your kids to go to school there, okay? Again, that goes back to the redlining, fair housing. We're not allowed to do that. But again, I can be the source of the source for you. So I can tell you where you can go to research the schools. I can tell you about private schools in the area you may want to consider. And even if you don't have kids in school, I would encourage you to research the school zone, because when you go to resell, that next family may have kids, and the school zone your house is in could affect that resale value for you. Third thing you need to think about is, what is your commute time going to look like, and how close are you to the essential things you need? Grocery store, shopping, restaurants. Now, if you buy a home here in Morristown, especially within the city limits, that's really not going to be that big a deal for you, right? Although I will say, I feel like the commute time from one end of Morristown to the other continues to grow, even with our bypass, right? It just seems ridiculous to me how long it takes to get through town anymore, especially if you take 11E and you're getting hit by all those red lights. But if you do live out in the county, say you live in Russellville, say you live in Whitesburg, you need to look at how long is it going to take you to get to the grocery store, what's your closest place to go if you forget that gallon of milk and need to run out and get one. Now, you also want to pay attention to what kind of future development is going on around that particular subdivision. You may want to check with the city planning department to see if there are any zoning changes that are coming up. Are there apartment complexes, new subdivisions getting built? Is there commercial development going on close by? That quiet field that you've admired for years, that's maybe right across the street from your subdivision, well, that could be getting developed in the next 12 to 18 months. So you need to check those types of things out so that you don't feel like you were sold something and ended up with something else. The last thing is you need to look at what's the community vibe, okay? So I would encourage buyers to drive through a neighborhood at different times of the day, because if you go in the middle of the day, most everybody's going to be at work, at school. You're really not going to get a feel for the makeup of who all lives in that subdivision, what's it like during the evening hours. And so you may want to go during the early morning. What kind of traffic is there in that subdivision? How hard is it to get out to the main road from that subdivision? You may want to go on the weekend and see, what are people doing on the weekend? Is somebody like revving up a motorcycle all day, driving you insane? So listen for noise, watch the traffic flow. Do you see people outside walking their dogs, getting exercise? And talk to some of the neighbors. Ask them, do they enjoy living there? What do they like best about the subdivision? And people are going to tell you, okay? People will talk to you if you just ask the right questions. So just remember, as a buyer, you're not just buying a house, you're buying into the neighborhood where you're living. And the right neighborhood can make any house truly feel like home for you. So, what's your number one deal breaker when it comes to choosing a neighborhood? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it.